Today, we are heading to one of Scotland's most incredible islands, a real jewel of the Inner Hebrides, the Isle of Mull. It's a place that's just bursting with wildlife, dramatic coastlines, and roads that wind their way through some absolutely unforgettable landscapes. Now, that's a pretty bold claim, right? But it's one you hear a lot from people who've been there. So, is Mull really Scotland's most beautiful island? Well, let's dive in and find out what makes this place so ridiculously special. All right, first things first, let's talk about Mull's reputation. You'll often hear it called Eagle Island, but honestly, that's just scratching the surface. This is a land of jaw-dropping natural beauty, where you'll find stunning scenery and vibrant life pretty much everywhere you look. You know, the thing that really hits you about Mull is the sheer variety of it all. This isn't just one type of landscape. You can go from the pure white sands of a place like Calgary Bay to the misty top of Ben More, the island's highest peak, which soars over 3,000 feet. It's this incredible diversity that just grabs a hold of you. And it's this contrast that really gives the island its magic. On one hand, you've got the picture-perfect, brightly painted houses of Tobermory's harbour. You might even recognise it from the kids' show Ballymurray. And then you have these vast, wild, untamed moorlands right next door. That's Mull in a nutshell. So, how do you get there? Well, there are three main ferry routes. The most common one is the 45-minute journey from Oban to Crignier. And just a little heads up, if you're bringing a car in the summertime, you are absolutely going to want to book that one in advance. The other two are shorter, you don't have to book, and they're fantastic, more flexible options. But Mull isn't just about the pretty views. It is steeped in thousands of years of history. We're talking about a story that goes all the way back to the Stone Age and runs right through to the powerful clans that used to rule the Hebrides. This timeline just gives you a little taste of that deep past. People have been living here since around 6000 BC. You can still see traces of Bronze Age settlers at stone circles, and then a really pivotal moment in 563 AD. St. Columba shows up on the little island of Iona, right next door, and starts a monastery that would basically spread a Christianity all across Scotland. Of course, after the Vikings, the island story becomes all about the great Scottish clans. And wow, there is no better symbol of that clan history than Duart Castle. It's the ancestral home of Clan Maclean, and it is every bit as dramatic as it sounds, just perched right on a cliff top, watching over the sea. It's actually one of the first iconic things you see as your ferry gets close from Oban. The island's history even has this touch of Hollywood legend to it. The story goes that a galleon from the Spanish Armada, supposedly loaded with treasure, went down right in Tobermory Bay. And even after all these centuries of searching, the gold has never been found, which just adds this layer of mystery to the famous harbor. Okay, let's switch gears to what really pulls people to Mull today, the absolutely incredible wildlife. The island is, and I mean this, one of the best places in the entire UK to see iconic animals just doing their thing in the wild. It's a total paradise for anyone who loves nature. So back to that nickname, Eagle Island. It is not just a catchy phrase. Mull has the highest density of nesting golden eagles in all of Europe. And thanks to a really successful reintroduction program, it's also a stronghold for the massive white-tailed sea eagle. We're talking a bird with an 8-foot wingspan that was once extinct in the UK. Amazing. But the superstars aren't just flying overhead. Along the coast, you have a really fantastic chance of spotting otters. The moorlands are home to these majestic red deer. And out in the water, well, you can see dolphins, minke whales, and in the summer, even those gentle giants, basking sharks. It's like Scotland's Big Five all in one spot. And here's a little pro tip for you. If you want to see one of Mull's most beloved critters, the otter, keep your eyes glued to the coastline. Unlike a lot of places, the otters here are often out and about during the day. Just watch the shoreline really carefully, especially around the kelp beds, and you might just get lucky. Okay, with so much to see and do, where do you even begin? Let's run through a quick hit list of the island's absolute must-see sites. Think of this as your essential guide to getting the most out of your trip. Two of the most popular day trips for Mull are to the little islands of Iona and Staffa. Iona is this incredibly peaceful, spiritual place famous for its ancient abbey. Staffa, on the other hand, is like stepping into a geological wonderland. It's raw, it's dramatic, full of volcanic columns, and in the summer, thousands of adorable puffins. The absolute star of the show on Staffa is the breathtaking Fingal's Cave. This sea cave is made of these massive, almost perfect hexagonal basalt columns.
The acoustics inside are so strange and beautiful that they actually inspired the composer Mendelssohn to write his famous Hebrides Overture. It's truly a wonder of nature. Back on the main island, you has got to visit Tobermory. It's Mull's capital and its most lively town. That harbor front with its rainbow of colored houses is instantly recognizable. It's also packed with cool little shops, great pubs, and some fantastic seafood restaurants.
And for something totally unexpected, you have to go to the Ross of Mull, down in the southwest. You will find beaches there with sand so white and water so turquoise you would swear you'd somehow landed in the Caribbean. It is just stunning.
Feeling inspired yet? Good. Let's get practical. If you're starting to plan your own mole adventure, here are a few key things you really need to know to make your trip go off without a hitch. So, just as a quick recap, here are those ferry options again. Remember, the Oban route is the main one. You have to book it during peak season. The other two are your more flexible, just show up options, which are perfect if your plans are a bit more spontaneous.
Look, a car is pretty much essential for exploring Mull, but get ready for single-track roads. The key is to just be patient. Use the passing places to let other cars by. Also, gas stations are few and far between, so whenever you see one, fill up. And probably the most important tip of all, pack for all 4 seasons because the weather can and will change in a heartbeat.
And you can't leave without tasting the local food. The Isle of Mull cheese is the sharp, tangy cheddar that's famous all over Scotland. The seafood is as fresh as it gets. For a little dram, the Tobermory distillery is one of the oldest in the country. Oh, and whatever you do, you have to try the legendary sausage roll from the Lochbu larder. Trust me on this one.
So when's the best time to go? Well, spring and summer are peak season. Best weather, most wildlife, especially puffins and basking sharks. Autumn is amazing for watching the dramatic red deer rut. But honestly, don't write off winter. That's when you'll find the island at its most peaceful and quiet. It's perfect for a tranquil getaway. From its ancient history and its epic landscapes to its truly world-class wildlife, the Isle of Mull has everything you need for an unforgettable adventure. Really, the only question left is, what kind of wild journey will you discover?